Koreans, yes. All right. I'm actually really gonna get started now. It's seriously gonna happen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, today we have yellow, who is Ethiopians, and green. They are Koreans, as you can see. And let's take a look at their situations here. Looks like our friendly Ethiopians have a really shit map to start with, if I do say so. This unfortunate gold pile is pretty forward, along with the berries, which are stretched out for eternity. That sucks. But he does have some gold in the back, and he does have some stone, and of course a boar pretty close by. The wood lines are better than the berries, I will say that. He does have at least one back wood line he can take advantage of. As many of you know, it's best to have a couple good wood lines you can use for 2 lumber camps if possible. Over here on the Korean side, green, his map is a little bit better. I have to say this map is more of an 8 out of 10, whereas this map is like maybe a 2 out of 10 situation. Barely wallable though, I will give it that. Green over here, he's like, yeah, I got my gold right here. I got my berries in the back. Feeling good about this situation. Hitting up the backwoods in here. So he's probably not as stressed out. Ethiopians, let's talk about this civilization. It's very interesting. This matchup is actually a lot of fun, I think, because these are both pretty strong archers, strong siege civs. So I would expect either one of them to possibly start men-at-arms into archers. We're getting some extra wood from the Koreans, so that makes me think maybe straight archers. Koreans could also trush if they're feeling up to it. They do get their stone miners to work 20% faster, which is a super fun time. What up, what up, what up? Hey, everyone. So, this scout is gonna die to yellow, which would be a great advantage for him. He's getting tickled, and tickled to death by arrows. All right, green's over here, just still doing his thing. Nice, tidy houses. I get it, so people are into that. We do have an unfortunate idol here by yellow for just a moment. Pretty good starting lumber camp. Again, his map sucks ass, so he's making it work. He still hasn't found his sheep, which is a little unfortunate. But this lure was quite impressive. Right under the TC, keeping it tight there. That's good. But will he find his sheep? Is he so tilted? He doesn't even care. He doesn't have these sheep either. He must hate his life right now with this map situation, with the sheep so far away, and that is unfortunate. But did we want to change the vision, toggle fog for vision? Yes, we could. Yes, absolutely. So green over here is just hanging out in the corner with the sheep. I believe he did steal that sheep earlier when that scout died. But he hasn't scoped out much than his berries and the front stone. Whereas yellow over here has done quite a bit more scouting, as you can see. He knows where the gold is. He knows where the berry is. He doesn't know where his sheep are, though. Or does he? Did he find it? Does he know? Does he care? Let me switch. Okay, he found the sheep. Thank God. Now he's kind of having a struggle fest with the boar because the boar has to walk around things. And we all know boars hate walking around things. They give up easily. So D-Dragon. Hey, Master. Good to see ya. All right. So we have 4 on wood from Yellow. Looks like he's putting up a barracks. This is a minute-arms rush coming up here. Green has no military buildings yet at about 8 minutes. He is mad chilling on the berries. No, he's going for the stone. Maybe, yes, my prediction might be right. I thought Green might consider trushing, so this could be a thing. All right, unfortunate idols for Green. He needs to put those guys to work. Where are they gonna go? Are they gonna get berries because he loves berries so much? Are they gonna go to stone? Are they gonna walk over to Yellow's base to get ready to start the trush? So many questions. We will see. Oh, he already is sending villagers, indeed. Good, good. Chopping wood, keeping them busy. That is so important. But what is his visibility like? Does he know where to put the tower? All he knows is this TC is here. He still isn't sure of the wood line where the lumber camp is. So he's going on a bit of a risky adventure here. What's up, farm man? Hey, Eric C. Briz. What's up, what's up? He's just so perplexed with confusion that he's standing there. Doesn't know what to do, so he's gonna build an outpost. They didn't tell me they were gonna give me a troll game. What is this? Or is this so expert? My new brain cannot grasp it. So, putting those up with the house. Oh, I see. He's trying to build protection maybe for the tower that he's going to build. How's his economy doing? He has plenty of wood. Absolutely okay there. He has enough stone for a tower. Yellow over here is probably very confused, hence the idols. I also have idols when I'm confused and perplexed. But he's going on for more wood. Lots of wood, actually. Earlier, I had a suspicion of archers, but he's not on gold. So, again, keeping us on the edge of our seats. There's the tower. He got it just close enough to this one singular berry bush. All Yellow has to do is move this person here. There we go. And he has his militia protecting his wood line. He's keeping his farms going. He's at about 500 food, almost to feudal. And whereas Green is definitely at feudal. I worry about Yellow. If he was sending men-at-arms, he probably wanted to be doing that a tad bit quicker. Now his villagers are fighting off these towers. Oh, but his militia are at least doing work with the scout here on Green, so that's a good thing for him. He scared him away. Did he kill any vills, though? It doesn't look like he killed any vills at all. That's unfortunate. Whereas over here, Yellow has barely hanging on for his dear life. His one militia hanging out, trying to have his back. I think he's gonna lose this villager here, though. I think it might happen if they get... No, never mind. Just kidding. So now he's putting up a defensive tower next to the gold, which is a good call. He could also use these golds if he's feeling like that might be a little less risky. But then again, you don't want to be out there in the middle of nowhere, essentially exposed for all disaster to be released upon you. So he's going to hang out by his little tower. We have another outpost. Interesting choices with the outpost. Green is getting town watch though, so it will make his building line of sight quite a bit further to be able to take this whole situation in. So perhaps it is wise. He only has 3 villagers though building this tower, and one is super low. So these are some big Jupiter balls of his, just putting out those outposts with his low villagers. And in his base, he's still really cozy. He took some of his villas off the berries to build some farms. Nice tight farms right up by the TC. Love to see it. Still working the stone, so he must have intentions of building more of these towers. He has one tower up in 16 minutes using the trust strategy. So it's a little atypical for being... Oh yeah, what is their ELO? Did you catch that? Is there... I didn't see. I'm suspecting this might be maybe 900 to 1,000 ELO, but I'm a horrible judge of these things. I am telling you what. All right, Yellow's making some archers mixed in with some skirms here, which is wise. He knows he's up against Koreans, which are known to make archers, absolutely. There is a little bit of a struggle situation here. His extra militia got sent out to give this guy a beating. He probably didn't see that coming. There's a lot to focus on. I get it. All right, so Yellow's sending his archers forward towards Green's base. Green is pretty exposed right now, which concerns me. He's getting his market up. He probably is going, oh shit, I have way too much food and not enough gold, not enough wood. I gotta trade. Which, you know, these things happen. We all know Magnolia loves to trade. It's called the Magnolia meta. I'm coining it now. All right, Yellow has a shit ton on gold. He's really committing to these archers. Green is just trying to keep these guys near his tower to stay alive. How are these archers attack-wise? Looks like one armor. Whoops, didn't click an archer. Ah, there we go. He has fletching, of course, so he has that extra attack, which is very nifty, very necessary. No armor on it. Whereas Green over here, he's just kind of pondering life and choices that he's made. Sorry. I'm just laughing at myself right now. So definitely trying to decide, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? He wants to go to castle, so he's building a blacksmith. The archers have not become a major threat. There's just one there, so he's probably thinking, you know, I can just get to castle really quick here, all good. And then when he gets to castle, if he could make siege, perhaps, definitely maybe archers or skirms to counter Yellow's archers coming in, these Ethiopian archers who, by the way, they do have all the archer upgrades except for Parthian tactics. That I believe that goes for the both of them. So potentially very strong archers into crossbows, X-bows as we call them, into arbalest ass blasters as we call them someday. So that could be deathly. All right, Green is making all his dreams come true. Hey, Skinny Sheep, how's it going? He's making all his dreams come true. He's going to castle. He's about halfway there. Whereas Yellow over here is just starting up to castle age, massing his archers and skirms, mixing in the two because we all know skirms do well against archers, so he definitely wants to throw a splash of those in there. Green did put up a tower. He's using more defensive towers since his trust didn't work out. I imagine he had a crap ton of stone left over he was hoping to use, so defensive it is. Garrisoning when needed, putting him back to work. Good job. Let's see, he's almost to castle. Yellow is on his way up. Still on one archery range. He has his blacksmith up, so hopefully getting those good upgrades. Green has no military buildings up still. He's really committing to the stone, since I guess he is going to be working those keeps now. Those sexy keeps, just gonna smack those archers straight to hell. So that's fairly wise thoughts for working with these archers. But I do wonder, being Koreans, if he could make a siege workshop or perhaps more archery ranges himself. I just feel like the keeps alone are not going to be enough to help him win this game. He's going to need more. But they're both castle. We have a university going up by yellow, probably getting ready to research ballistics, seeing as he's committing to these archer boys. Sub Gamers DC, good to see you. Manga Died, good to see you. OGRM. Whereas green's like, fuck military. I want nothing to do with any of that. I'd rather boom, because I'm going to build a second TC, perhaps maybe a third TC, and more keeps, of course, because he loves keeps. Or they're not keeps, they're guard towers. Keeps they will be one day. So he is just committing to that. Yellow's trying to poke these villagers down when he can. They're little hidey boys, after all. Very difficult to reach. Oh, nope, he got him. He got one. And that is not going to be happening for him today, sadly enough. Yellow's taking care of business in his base, getting out a ram to get rid of these annoying buildings. Just gotta get those straight out of here. And whilst doing so, he is doing quite a number on green. Green seems pretty panicked. He's living in a hell that he might question if it will last an eternity, or if he can persevere and perhaps do something very productive that would destroy these archers. Like a siege workshop, as I mentioned before. A very handy siege workshop. A mangonel could be called for at this moment to do some work. And I have a sneaky suspicion, not saying this with judgment, but he might be able to kill all of these in one foul swoop of the mangonel. Veggie Chops, thank you for the subscribe. Super appreciate it. All right, once that guard tower went up, Yellow got scared, so he backed away. He didn't even see this siege workshop. What can he see? Let's check that out. All right. Why is Yellow holding off? He had all these archers forward. He was doing some work. The guard tower went off. But he's still hesitant to attack for some reason, even though he clearly has the upper hand, as we can see by the score, by his number of archers, 16 here, 3 rams taking these down, 9 archers over here, green doing basically nothing to counter these archers. I feel like yellow could take this moment, this opportunity to just destroy all of green's villagers. But maybe he has a lust for torturing people for a long, long time. And in that case, oh, I just realized I forgot to click record, but that's okay. I can just send this as a highlight, right? In that case, he probably wants this to last for much longer while he himself builds more TCs. No other TCs. He's going off 1 TC. But yes, perhaps he just wants to really relish in this moment of domination, which I totally get sometimes. Sometimes when I'm really far ahead and I've had an extra bad day of losses and I'm finally winning. I want to relish in it. I want to enjoy the moment, make it last. Maybe not this long though. This yellow is really stretching it out. I feel confident that he could take these archers who are now +2 armor, +2 attack, and he could just really do some work on green. And even in spite of these annoying guard towers, he could keep on those rams, keep those archers going, and really do some work. Green is sitting on a 3rd TC now. I think the only way that green can come back at this point is if he booms exponentially against yellow's 1 TC and continues to defend. Maybe there's a world. I worry though, because 1 TC is essentially useless at this point. It's not even being used. He's using his villagers desperately to take this ram down, and they all die. Death everywhere. I noticed, interesting, there's not many games I see casted where there's literally no walls whatsoever. We have some somewhat building walls here constructed. Loving the house walls, but really no palisade walls are happening in this particular game. So everyone is very exposed to constant death and destruction. So, hey, how's it going, everyone? Oh, is this a 1300 game? Interesting. Is it a 1300 game? Interesting. All right. Well, this might be where the tide turns for green. He just killed a significant amount of archers. I'm guessing earlier there were 16, so he killed 10 or more. He is switching into knights, and these particular knights have +2 armor, which is very wise against the archer civ. You can fight more easily under the TC. You can take more hits from the archers with the pierce armor. So that's fantastic for him switching to the knights. They're a little more costly, but probably in this situation worth that cost. At least he has 1 TC still working pretty hard over here. Yellow is still forcing out a lot of aggression. He's making more mangonels, or sorry, green's making more mangonels, it looks like, which is a little strange considering we're looking at knights now. With the archers, I thought the mangonel would be extremely handy. I was just hoping and praying with all of my might that he would make more mangonels, but he didn't. But now he is. For these knights, okay. We have a doubt castle. This is not looking good for green. He's very much determined to put up the guard towers and castle, even when there's 20 archers or say 10 knights. He's very determined. He's anti-military. He doesn't want to go there. He'd rather stay very protected in his thick ass towers that Koreans do get to enjoy so much. But these towers are just not pulling through where he needs to go in his absolutely destroyed life of a situation of this game. But he will put up the castle. He is going for it. He does not want this to be a doubt castle. He is so determined. No, he's not. He changes his mind. He'd rather walk straight into the knights and die. Because maybe I'm trying to get into Green's head, guys. I'm trying so hard. What could he possibly be thinking? All right. He got the castle up. I'm so glad for him. I know that's what he was thinking. All he wants more than anything in the world is to get this castle up, and he will do anything it takes to build it. No, yes, I understand now. I've been there. I've done that. I've taken all of my entire villager population and poured them into a single castle, desperately trying to make sure it doesn't become a doubt castle. I have been there. I understand. All right, Yellow, keep checking in on him, just making sure that his town is staying productive. It is. He is finally putting up a second town center at 40 minutes and 20 seconds. Very interesting that he waited so long, but then again, starting with archers, the need for the eco wasn't quite as demanding. I will say once he switched to knights and 1 camel, forgot to mention that, you know, his eco got more demanding. If we're looking here, he's sitting on a crap ton of wood, 400 food, 600 gold. Still at castle though, whereas green is sitting on 800 wood, 500 food, and a crap ton of gold. So there is potential for either one of these to go to Imperial here very soon. Even at just 61 population for green, 57 population for yellow, 49 villagers for yellow, and 61 villagers for green at 40 minutes in the game. Call me crazy, but maybe a little bit low villager count for this point in the game. Yeah, he flopped his trush. Green flopped his trush, and I don't think he had a game plan beyond the trush, which I totally understand. That happened to me when I Inca trushed the other day. I trushed. Actually, my trush went well, but after that, I was kind of like, what units do I make? What do I do? So I think maybe green was in that situation, just really not knowing what units to make. So he just didn't make units at all. He just decided to keep building towers forever and ever and ever. So yellow is on their third TC. Let's see, a little new at this. What their eco upgrades are is what I'm wondering. Wondering. Is there a way to see what they've researched in terms of eco? Okay, we do have green going up to Imperial, which is really interesting because yellow has not gone up to Imperial. He's not clicked up at all. He was really committing to the military, the aggression, the attacks. He kept inching up really close. As you can see, he's inching up, getting really close to going to Imperial, but then he uses the food on camels and uses his gold on archers, uses it all on military, and against the Koreans' war wagons, the archers do not do well. So he's going to want to switch gears here. He already has 2 stables up. Maybe sticking with the knights would be a good call. Some pikes would be great. I know as far as Ethiopians, their infantry, they have halberdier. They go up to 2-handed swordsmen, but halberdier would be the way to go against these annoying ass war wagons. And they have all the upgrades too, so they could do some work. So I'm wondering, he only has 1 barracks though right now. He has 2 of these stables, trying to get up another Doubt Castle. We love Doubt Castles so much. How the tables have turned, exactly. So he's just garrisoning, probably trying to figure out what he needs to build. He's going for another archery range against the war wagons. Weird flex. 3 archery, 4 archery ranges against only war wagons. But also we have green who's destroying yellow. Did a forward TC. So much going on now in this game. It's escalated quite a bit. So green hit Imperial first, so he was able to knock out yellow's very obnoxious flex TC there. And it looks like yellow is finally almost up to Imperial age. And while he's working his way up there, green's destroying this TC. He's making skirms now, and only a splash of camel riders. So we have +1 attack on these camels, +2 armor. The skirms +2 attack, +2 armor, but still really just not a good idea to be playing skirms against these war wagons. Maybe he got so high up on his pedestal of winningness, of the winning ego, that he was like, oh my god, nothing, I can do anything I want and I'm still gonna win. You know? Maybe that's what's going through his head. So he's got his castle up here finally. He has one, yellow has one castle, green has one castle, 3 TCs for green, looks like barely 3 TCs for yellow. So there's yellow's starting to catch up. Again, green definitely took over here with these war wagons. I think yellow is probably going to look back on this with shame of building archers and not perhaps halberdiers or knights. There might be regrets haunting him in his deep subconscious mind over these choices. But he did hit Imperial, so he's probably feeling that there's still hope, even though he made some disastrous choices with very disastrous consequences. There is a chance to pull back if he stops making archers. But no, he will not stop. He refuses. He's making so many crossbows, so many skirms, just really committing to that, whereas green is only making war wagons. I feel like green here should stick to the war wagons. I would never say, hey, you're playing greens, only make war wagons and nothing else. I would never say that. But seeing as yellow is only making archers and skirms, this might be a good idea for him. I love that he's bringing out rams. Koreans have fantastic siege. They have the capped ram. They have the siege onager, beastly. They don't have heavy scorpion. They do have bombard cannons, so that would also be recommended right now. I think his bomb cannons would just kind of plow through all these buildings and cause instant death. They are quite expensive though. So, yep, I'm glad to see that ram there. I want him to maybe put out more siege. Yeah, stick to the war wagons because yellow's got nothing. Green over here is sitting on over 1,000 food, 1,600 gold. A little concerning, looking back and forth that they have a lot of resources. Usually you want to be using your resources constantly to make an army. So that does make me wonder. Someone said 1300s earlier, and I just don't know if that is physically possible for these people to be 1300s. Maybe someday. I'm not saying they won't ever be 1300. They can do it in time with practice, but I'm just seeing some of these choices being made, and I'm just suspicious that they're falling maybe closer to 800 and 900 ELO. But under stress, performance obviously can decrease significantly, and at this point yellow is clearly very stressed. He's still only making skirms. At this point, I think it's because his eco is clearly suffering. This eco is absolutely whack, for lack of better words. It's just whack, ass whack. Hello? What is this? The wood line is far away. TC's way back here behind the gold. His front TC, I don't even think it was on. Oh, it was on stone. It was on stone. Okay, so it was on something. That's good. All right, so I guess yellow defended just enough to push green back. I think his war wagons got killed mostly by these castles. He got a little too close for comfort. And with that push, yellow is continuing to make skirms, even though all the evidence is pointing to Koreans making war wagons. He's still determined to make this meta work. This non-existent meta that he concocted today, very creative. I'll give it that, but it is not the way to go. Dare I say, it is the opposite of the way to go. But he does have quite a few trebs, and they're helping take down this castle. This beautiful hill is in between them, in which this castle could have been on top of. But interestingly enough, he built the castle behind the hill, away from the hill, under the hill, which doesn't give it quite the advantage that it could have had on the hill. But Green did make some scouts with his massive economy, his booming eco with food and gold. He decides to make the trash unit scouts because why not? Apparently, both of these players want this game to last for an eternity, so they're doing absolutely everything they can to fail while still staying alive. All right, so his scouts are actually doing a number, though, on the skirms. Trash versus trash. Scouts trash is going to take home the trophy today. Yellow did manage to get his eco back just enough to pump out some camel boys, but they're dying instantly. I just saw one run right into the war wagon. It's best to have those massed together. Really, any unit you create, you never want to send in one at a time or two at a time. You really want to collect them together and mass them up before attacking. But in desperation, you might end up sending just a few units, just trying to hold on to something. He started a mill, but then he said, fuck it. I don't want to build a mill. I want to sit here and ponder my life while two villagers work. Although we all know villagers can be super dumb sometimes. Sometimes you send them to do something and then they don't do it. And you rage. And then you tell them to go work. All right, so thank goodness he noticed that. All right, interesting. I never talked about it, but there's some relics out here. It looks like to me at this point, all 4 relics are out. Is there normally 5 or is there 4? I don't think anyone really went for relics this game. Quite a few idols for green. Where I hate to keep pointing out the bad, but there's quite a few idols for green. It looks like 23. And for yellow, he actually doesn't seem to have any idols at this point, so he got back to work. That's good. I was a little stressed for him. All right. And with that, green is pushing away, so maybe he doesn't even have to be too concerned about idols at this point because his army is massed enough. Nothing's really countering these war wagons. Yellow did manage to get out some knights, but I don't think it's going to be enough to give the defenses that he needs. He just really overcommitted to the archery ranges. He only had 2 stables, which are now destroyed. And it looks like he did manage to put more stables up here finally, but I think it's too late for him. And green is just building out with his TCs, adding more, getting the map control that is so important in these 1v1s. You really want to be able to take advantage of all the resources across the map. You know, there's always some little smidgen of gold here and stone here. And if possible, especially by an hour, 4 minutes in, you really want to be on top of this right here, taking advantage of those while you're ahead. It's just a good habit to develop, something to always be aware of. I think yellow just kind of crunched himself in this little space. He didn't spread out too far, didn't manage to reach some of these potential gold opportunities. And he did have quite a bit of back resources, which he managed to take advantage of. This gold here didn't really get used too much. I wonder why what his resistance was to collecting gold. I know at one point he was way low in food, so I think he probably took some villagers and put them on farms. If we're rating this eco as far as balance goes, you want a balanced eco, I would probably give yellow another 2 out of 10, and I guess I would give green. Well, green's eco's great. He's doing a good job. He built the TCs in decent places. I can't argue that. So maybe more like an 8 out of 10. But as far as using his eco, probably a 3 out of 10. Even though he's dominating, so proud of him. That's wonderful. Those war wagons just did some work. He just barely used his resources the whole time he was sitting on piles and piles of food and gold. And I just find it so interesting that when he had all this food and gold, he made scouts, and they did get to be hussars, which are fantastic for raiding. But I always say, you know, if you can afford it, you know, raid with other things as well. I mean, the hussars are great. Don't get me wrong. All right, and green won. That was a clear win, but really interesting game as